Hello there. I'm Amanda and I am from Juma Health and Yoga in Tarragindi in Brisbane. And on Sunday, I did a really lovely practice, and I decided to share it with you. It's very quiet. I'm going to try and limit the amount that I talk. And there's only a few poses in this. So I named it Sunday Sesh, but you could call it any day of the week Sesh. So find a wall. That's about the only prop that you will need for this practice. You could have a blanket on your mat if you wanted to get a little cushy. You might even want a bolster or a block, but you don't need them. And we are going to come into legs up the wall. So get nice and close to a wall and then scoot your bottom, your top butt cheek towards the wall, and then get your bottom shoulder onto the ground and then just flip up. And then wriggle as much as you need to get nice and close to the wall. Don't worry if you haven't got your bottom right up against the wall. And take a moment here. Take a moment here to maybe look up at the ceiling, move your head around, maybe use a cushion or a pillow if you need it. And then when you're ready, maybe let your hands come onto your belly and softly close your eyes, tuning into your natural breath. And softening down through the back body, let it melt into the floor. And let your breath be exactly as it is. Softening through your jaws and the corners of your eyes, all those little muscles around your eyes that are looking and seeing and taking in so much every day of the week. And then let's give our bodies and our minds a little helping hand to settle down into the mat even more deeply. And so we're going to sniff the air in, 2 sniffs of air in through the nose, and then a long, slow exhale out of the mouth, just like this. And we'll do that 2 more times, sniffing the air in. And then 1 more in your own timing. Sniff. And now let your breath return to a natural rhythm and feel your breath moving in your belly, even if it's ever so slightly. You'll stay with that feeling for a few breaths, knowing that at any point during this practice you have capacity to open your eyes or to move into a different position. So feel the breath or the belly, the movement of air moving in and out of your lungs. And each time you exhale, let the ground hold you. More and more fully let yourself drop All of those muscles dropping into the support of the ground and the support of your wall. And so for a minute or so, I'm not going to talk. You can stay here for as long as you feel to. And then at some point during that few moments, you may have noticed that you took a deeper breath, or you might have yawned, or your tummy might have gurgled, or you might have got some tingling down the back of your neck. You might have even felt like you wanted to swallow, like you were accumulating a bit more saliva in your mouth. And all of those are signs that your nervous system is settling. So enjoy that. And if it hasn't settled, that's okay for today, that this might be it. Some days are like that. And so from here, if you wanted to stay here, you could pause the video now. Or if you're wanting to move a little bit, we're not going to move too much. You could release your hands from the belly, slide your heels down the wall, maybe your feet are touching, and then you're going to roll to one side. So I'm going to roll to my right side because that's facing the camera. And then I'll take a breath here or two just to let my body and my mind know that I'm about to move. And then I'm going to use this top hand to press into the ground. And then I'm going to swivel up and drop right back into a child. So I'm going to drop my buttocks back and down, and I'm going to slide my hands forward and then let my forehead come down and sense the sky shining down on the back body. And the belly expanding into the thighs. A couple of breaths in this new orientation. So legs up the wall is really helpful because there's so many benefits to legs up the wall, but one of them is simply that the blood that's pooling in our legs gets to return back to the heart and get recirculated, redistributed through the body. And now we've turned ourselves upside down, although we're still in an inversion. So some of the benefits of Balasana, or child's pose, has a lovely quieting effect. I love to feel into the seed-like nature of Balasana, the possibilities of this moment to get nice and quiet. And then from here, we're going to move into a different orientation. So we'll lift the head and maybe we'll inhale and open the chest a little, and then we'll exhale and float the forehead down, and we might just do that really gently 2 more times, inhaling and exhaling. Really tune in here to your breath. And then slide your hands down so they're just to the sides of the top of the head. And inhale, press into your 2 hands. And we're looking here to have maybe our wrists a little wider than our shoulders and our knees maybe just underneath our hips. We're going to lean back a little bit, and then we're going to exhale and slide our hands forward and slide our left knee forward. So maybe the heel of the foot will slide underneath the perineum, maybe not, and then maybe turn the right toes under and wriggle your right foot back so that it's touching the wall for some support. And then start to make your way down and feel your way here. Notice what's happening through your left knee first and foremost. Inhale and exhale, and you might come to here and go, that's enough for today. Or you might want to take your forehead down onto the backs of your hands and press into that wall. And then exhale and soften that right knee down. And take some breaths here into and around that left glute, into and around that left hip. Not trying to force the body to do anything that's uncomfortable or painful, but maybe creating a little bit of spaciousness with the breath. One more breath here. And then lifting the forehead ever so slightly, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers nice and wide, and then inhale, press on up and glide that left knee back. Bring the right knee forward, inhale here, and then exhale, maybe glide back into child again. Breathing into and across the back body, across the kidneys, across the lower back and the sacrum. Then pull the hands back again. Inhale, glide on up. So now again, we've got our hands a little bit wider than the shoulders, and we've got our knees underneath the hips, and we're going to lean back, inhaling, and then exhale, slide your hands forward and glide your right knee forward, and maybe bring the right heel in and under the perineum. Turn the left toes under, wriggle, 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 sliding that left foot back to the wall. And then make your way down onto your forearms and feel into your right knee and come into a position that is acceptable and beautiful in your body. So if you came into this posture and it wasn't working for you, you could flip over onto your back and bring one knee into the chest at each time. Okay, so inhale here and maybe exhale, forehead down. And you might even like to press your left foot into the wall and then relax that left leg down. And let your breath breathe into that right hip, that right glute, creating some space with your breath. And then one more breath here. Exhaling your weight down into the ground and then rise up through the forehead. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. And then from here, slide your right knee back. Glide your left knee forward. Inhale again. And then exhale one more time in Balasana or Child's Pose. Forehead can come down onto the ground or onto the hands. Whatever feels good to you. Another breath in here. Exhaling out and down. And then nice and slowly lift the forehead. And come into those 3 breaths where we're opening up the chest a little and then we're exhaling and floating the forehead down and inhaling and lifting the head, opening the chest a little and exhaling, just undulating, inhaling and exhaling. Good. And then from here, we're going to lift the head again, inhaling. Slowly drag the hands back. And then we're going to flip onto our backs for our final posture, which is a supine twist. So come onto your back. Feet are about hip distance apart. And we're going to open our arms out into a nice soft T. Inhaling. And exhaling and letting your back nestle once more into the ground. And then if you like, lift one knee and the other knee. So your feet are up off the floor. Inhale here. And then exhale, take both of your knees over toward the left. And then maybe open your head towards or turn your head towards the right. The left hand might want to come and just kind of hold on to the outside of the right thigh if that feels good. And sense this spiral up through your spine, from the base of the spine all the way to the crown of the head. And maybe close your eyes and take a couple of breaths here, feeling your way. If you needed a little support underneath that outside of the left thigh, you could put a bolster or a blanket there. Breathing into and across the chest, into and across the belly. One more breath. And then before you move, turn your head to center. Inhale the right knee up and let that right foot land, and then bring the left foot over, nestling in again. Opening the arms up in a soft T if they're not there already. Inhale. Exhale, and then once more bring one knee up and the other. So feet are off the ground. Inhale here. And then exhale, take both of your knees over to the right. And maybe your head turns to the left. Maybe that right hand's going to come around and hold onto the outside of the left thigh. And we're breathing here. Feeling into the quiet that you are cultivating inside your body and your mind. So if the breath is easy, if the breath can be easy in a posture, that's what we're looking for here. We're looking for a sense of ease, not pushing or trying too hard. So if we need a sense of support from a bolster or a blanket, please feel free to use that. One more breath here. And then before you move your legs, bring your head to center and let your inhale lift that left knee up. Follow it with the right and land your feet on the ground. Cave your knees in on one another and then bring one set of fingertips to the center of your chest and one palm to your lower abdomen, but both elbows on the ground. And let's come back to those 3 breaths. 2 sips of air in through the nose. Exhaling out of the mouth. Audible sigh. 2 more of those. Breathing in. And one more. In your own time. Taking a few moments to be here now. Feeling into your body and your mind. And then gently wriggle your fingers and slowly roll to one side. It doesn't matter which side you're rolling to. Again, I'm rolling to my right, but that's just because you're here with me. And then press your top hand into the ground and make your way up. You might sit cross-legged, you might sit in Vajrasana, whatever feels good for you. And then maybe close your eyes and let your hands rest on your thighs, or maybe your fingers are interlocked, and let your attention pull now at the point between the 2 eyebrows, fanning that flame of intention and sense into this moment, but also your next step, your next intentional step. Maybe you're intending to go to bed and have a good night's sleep. Maybe you're intending to move on with the rest of your day. How would you like that to be? Let your intention come in the form of a feeling, and feel that feeling now, knowing that you're planting a very powerful seed. When you're ready, you might like to bring your hands together at your heart, bowing the forehead down towards the fingertips in an air of gratitude for this moment, for this blessing. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, maybe share it with your friends. See you next time. Bye for now.